Hello friends, welcome back. Today I'm going to talk about a vibrational shift that you can do to access power, greater power than you may be using in your life. And this power, of course, comes from your divine blueprint and your higher consciousness energy patterns. So I want to talk about power, personal power, because many of us don't access and use the potential of our personal power. And we oftentimes don't even think we can make a difference. But I'm going to start with an example of someone who made a difference. There was a man who walked out of a Chinese biochemical lab, and from there destroyed entire world economies, infected millions of people, and caused massive deaths. One person, think of that. One person affected the entire globe. Think of that. That is a profound thought if you think about the power of one person. Now, I bring that up because it is the most dramatic example we have right now of one person wreaking so much havoc in the world. We can have plenty of talk about throughout history where one person has made a big difference, and sometimes they are military people or politicians, or they may be spiritual people that we use. For example, they could be people like Martin Luther King. I mean, there are examples of one person doing great good in the world. Mother Teresa. So this discussion is about understanding your personal power. Your personal power comes from your spiritual gifts. They don't come from anywhere else. When you are operating in the world, for instance, in a job or in your daily life, and you are focused on the problems or just the experiences and the stimulus of the world, you are using a limited power source, an astral power that is fueling the astral worlds, but also fueling your animal body. And you don't have as much power if you are connected only to your emotions and your busy mind. So it's important, and I've mentioned this in several videos, about calming down our emotions and clearing out our mind. Because when our mind is clear like an open sky and our emotions are calm like, I often say, a mountain lake, we can begin to access a higher power that is so powerful it can do acts of good works in the world that change the world forever. And you have this power within you, and how you access it is by really taking your spiritual gifts seriously. And I have put lots of videos in here on various kinds of spiritual gifts: premonition, precognition, lucid dreaming, astral travel, telepathy, healing, working with nature. I mean, the list can go on and on. But you have a gift, and if you don't start taking it seriously, then you can't access your fullest potential and your highest power to make a serious difference. And so one of the things that we need to focus on is understanding the power of now. And that's now been a big phrase that we use a lot from Eckhart Tolle. But this power of now is the only place you can access your higher power. Because this now moment that you and I are here and engaged in is the only real conscious, true, vibrational moment in your existence. The past is gone and doesn't exist. The future never really exists, because when the future arrives, it's now the present. So when we dwell on the past and we dwell on the future, we're not dwelling in our power. When we dwell on all the stimulus of the outside world bombarding us, we're not in our power. Our power comes from starting to access and work our spiritual gift. So I have a lot of YouTube friends here, and I want to say that some of you have great spiritual gifts and you are aware of those gifts. Some of you may not be aware of your gifts. But this channel, I want to start taking like a funnel and pulling together all the subscribers and narrowing this down to serious people who want to start developing their gifts. And you may have really profound intuition, which is a lot of times the same thing as sort of clairvoyance. And you need to start evaluating these things. And I have mentioned many times to start keeping a journal of your lucid dreams, your astral travels, your premonitions, your intuitions, your inner knowing and feelings, and start developing this, because in this searching and focus on your inner life, you will be able to find and tap a power that exists that is so beyond what you could possibly imagine. I had about several videos ago, I had a video on flow into joy, and I was talking about this energy that is circling the planet, moving around the planet, where all of the ascended beings are, and the higher fifth density extraterrestrials are, and great masters. And in this flow that's moving around the planet, this flow, and humans are in this flow too, this flow, the general energy of that is inner peace. In other words, your emotions are calm and your mind is clear, and there is a sense of fulfillment of your life, because people in this flow are fulfilling their highest potential. They have tapped their gift, their spiritual talents, their spiritual skills, and they are using them. And if you want to find true joy in this world, you have to use your spiritual gift. And we call it a gift, but it's really your talents and your skills. All of these abilities are in your divine blueprint. You just can tap them and start using them and developing them and exercising them and making them real in your life. And when you do that, and when you tap your gift, your talent, you open yourself up to this power source that is flowing around the earth, and it's also flowing in your blueprint, flowing in your soul, and flowing in the universe. But it is very immediate in that it is flowing around the globe. And the reason I bring up this is because one person can make a difference right here on this planet, because there is this stream of energy of fulfilled beings, of joyful beings, beings who are using their divine skills to help humanity. And you can open up a doorway into this power source, and you can start using it through your skills. You can't tap this power source if you're not tapping your personal skills, your higher dimensional skills. So I would like to really encourage everyone to get serious and start thinking, what is my superpower, for example, or what is my spiritual gifts? Go back through the videos where I've given 4 different examples, and I've also given lucid dreaming, astral travels, and you could also maybe have healing abilities. I've had healing abilities with the sacred fire, which I might have put that in that video. So really start looking at what your gift is, because when you can access your gift, you can access this stream of energy that is highly evolved, a spiritual power that can get funneled directly into you, and now you become this personal force on the world that is magnetized and strengthened by this huge wave of energy that's moving on the planet. And when you make an action through your spiritual talents into the world, when you serve the greater good in a way into the world, you are not just by yourself. You're funneling in this huge energy stream that's anchored here on this planet, and that energy stream has got your back. And it's going in front of you, clearing the way, and it's behind you, pulling a force of energy along with you. And this is how spiritual people can change the world, can come up with new inventions, can come up with a way to completely eradicate viruses forever on the planet, or some way to get them off of us quite easily with technology, or some kind of new medicine, or some kind of new education, or some kind of new healing modalities. There's many things you can do with your spiritual gifts. And so as I use this example of this one person who just walked out of a lab and wreaked destruction, we need to gather together as spiritual adepts. We need to get out of disciple level of my 7 levels, and we need to all start moving into that initiate and master level now. We need to start demonstrating these gifts, these skills to the world. And I've mentioned in other videos, we need to teach our children and grandchildren. If we can start gathering our PowerPoint, we can start shifting things in a dramatic way, but we have to start by anchoring and using our skills. And to bring that back to my original point, your power lies in the present moment. So when you're using your skills, you cannot use your skills in a judgment action from past behaviors or past patterns that you have, and you think because the world acts this way or people act that way, that I have to use my skill in a certain way. You interfere with the flow of the skill, and you can't use your skill predicting that something in the future will happen, like I want to use this skill to heal a country or heal a group of people or even a person, and you have this intention to manipulate the skill for an outcome. These things are the human mind interfering with your PowerPoint skill. The skill you have has to flow unencumbered from emotions and mind. It has to flow without judgment, without any kind of directing it, because it knows what to do. It knows how to flow in the world, and you may touch one person when you're totally in that now moment. You may touch one person with absolute power of this greater flow, and that's all you did. But that one person could have access to someone else that could be influenced from this one person, that you shifted their life. You vibrationally shifted their life. Now they go to someone who's perhaps in a position of greater power, science, politics, government, education, and they shift that person, and that person shifts thousands. So you don't have to personally shift millions, but you can. But just know that if you shift, if you vibrationally shift one person, that has a domino effect. And these higher frequencies are working that. They're working that one person that goes to another person, and suddenly, boom, exponential. It's like one person, and then several people, and then several people, and then boom, an entire medical, an entire educational, an entire government gets completely transformed. This is how we operate. So I want to just bring this out today, that we start to focus on the now moment. Your power is in the absolute moment where you have total clarity of your mind, total calmness of your emotions, and you are focused. Your consciousness is awake and aware in this very moment. And in this very moment, power is flowing through you to other people in your environment, and that power is shifting vibrations of everyone around you. And so that is my message for today. And if you have any comments, or if you want to list what your powers are below, or have any questions about your power, I'm here to help you in any way I can. And I love to hear your stories about what your gifts are and how you're using them. So thank you, friends.